Hey friends, welcome to day 3 of the 15 Days to a Healthier You series. Today we're going to be talking about how to love the life that you actually have. This is a concept that I really started to grab hold of in the last year, and it has changed my life so much. There was a book that I read in 2016 called The Happiness Dare. If you have not read this book, I would highly recommend it. It's all about how to put more shots of happy into your life, how to really embrace right where you are, and how to find what makes you happy. And it's done in not this self-centered way, but really about how you can have more happy in your life so that you can love your life more. And this quote that was in the book was so good. The author says, "We can stop trying to be someone we're not. Happiness begins in that moment when we look within and say, I was created to be her. I was not created to be her. I was created to be me. I was not created to be her. I was created to be me." Really think about that. I was created not to be her, but to be me. Happiness is an inside job. You don't find happiness by being the best version of someone else. You find happiness by being the best version of you. So think about that with me. We talked earlier in this, especially as I was talking about just this whole program. What my heart is for this program is to help you be the best version of you. Not the best version of someone else, not who you think you should be, but the best version of you. If you want to succeed at not being happy, here's a guaranteed path for that. Go try to live someone else's life. So there's such a great community of people. We have people from really all walks of life and from all parts of the globe in this community of 15 Days to a Healthier You. And I am so excited as I see you guys interacting with one another on the Facebook group, and just to see you encouraging one another. But I want to remind you as you go through this that it's about being the best version of you. It's not about trying to be someone else. It's so easy to look at someone else and think, well, I should do that. That seems like that's a smart thing to do because it's working well for her. You need to focus on what is best for you and your own family. Don't spend your days comparing yourself to someone else. To think, I should be like her. I wish I could do what she does. I want to do everything that I can to be like her. It will make you feel so unhappy. You'll feel frustrated that you can't do what she does. Instead, focus on choosing to be you, to make the most of right where you are. So I love when I think of loving the life that I actually have, not the one that I think that I want. In my discipleship group today, we were talking about the concept of enough, and we were talking about how money and stuff and possessions can become an idol, and how we can put that above everything else, and we can worship that, and we can think that if I can just have this much money, if I can just get to this place, then I'm going to be satisfied. But we all know that that's a lie, because it's never enough. It's never good enough. And we're always going to feel like we need to be chasing after more. It's the same in our own lives. I really want you to think of the concept of enough. What does that look like for you? Would you be content and happy if where you are right now never changed? Are you spending your days wishing you could be in someone else's shoes? Wishing that you could just make it to someplace else, that if only you had a better job, if only your husband would just change, if only you could get married, if only you could have more kids, if only you could have kids, if only you lived in a different house, if only you had a different body, if only you had more motivation, if only, and we can live our lives and make ourselves miserable by living in the if onlys instead of embracing the life right where we are. Exactly where we are. I want to challenge you to love the life that you actually have, to make the most of where you are, to intentionally cultivate the ground right where you're standing on, instead of thinking, if only I could stand in those greener pastures over there, my life would be made. This is, again, we're talking about the inside of you, your heart. But if you can't get the inside of you healthy, why bother to work on the outside? Because you know what? If you're not happy right where you are, if you can't embrace the life right where you are, the life that you actually have, chasing after losing weight or eating healthier or all the other things that we can do on the external aren't going to change our inner health. It's got to start on the inside. Happiness is an inside job. And I love that quote because it reminds us that it's not about our surroundings. It's not about our circumstances. It's not about our season of life. It's about in here. So stop trying to feel like you need to do what makes other people happy and really focus on finding your own happy. I loved that encouragement in the Happiness Dare. I want to challenge you as we go through, and we're talking about exercise, we're talking about eating right, we're talking about these different things, that you really focus on you and being the best version of you instead of feeling like you need to do what's working for someone else. Don't try to be her because you're not her. I've wasted a lot of my life wishing that I could be someone else, that I had different gifts, that I was taller, that I didn't have the body shape that I have, that I had gifts and I could decorate my house and that I could be more domestic and that I didn't always ruin recipes and that I could be a better runner, a faster runner, that I was more athletically gifted. I've wasted so much of my life wanting those things instead of embracing exactly who I am, the person that I am, the person that God has created me to be. So I want you to fall in love with the life that you actually have. I loved this, just going through that and thinking about what does that look like. And a lot of people, when I talk about this concept, they'll say, well, how do I figure out what makes me come alive and makes me feel happy? I don't even know where to start. So in your workbook, I challenge you to ask yourself some questions, and I really want you to think about this. What makes you feel happy? What really makes you feel happy? Maybe that's something that you haven't thought about in a long time, or maybe in forever. Maybe you've never thought about what really makes you happy. What makes you feel happy? If you had an entire day to yourself and napping wasn't an option, what would you choose to do? What are some of your happiest memories? What do other people say brings life to you and puts a smile on your face? Ask those people around you. Say, when have you seen me come alive? What do you think makes me happy? When have you seen me being really passionate and really excited about life? What puts a smile on my face? As I've been taking the Happiness Dare, as Jennifer Duxley talks about in her book, The Happiness Dare, I've realized that there is just so much beauty around me, but oftentimes I'm so busy that I miss it. I'm so busy that I miss it. Just this past fall, I made a commitment, I don't know if we want to call it that, with myself, that I was going to look at the beautiful fall leaves every single day. And I was going to just soak them in and just savor that beauty. Because you see, the year before, fall had happened and I had missed it. Fall had happened and I had missed it. Truthfully, it was a crazy busy season in 2015 during fall, and it was like I woke up one day and I knew it was fall, and then all of a sudden I looked outside and there were no leaves on the trees, and I had literally missed fall because I'd been so busy. I'd missed all of that beauty. So in 2016, I said, I am not going to miss fall. And every single day, I looked outside, I went outside, I looked at the leaves, I looked at the trees, and I just soaked it up. And it was so beautiful. And it was there. And it had been there the year before and the year before, but I had missed it because I wasn't looking for it. We often see what we look for. So if we are looking for the discouraging, the depressing, we're just saying, life is so hard. Life is just so hard. And those are the glasses that we look at life with. We have those glasses on when we look at life. Then we're going to see the hard. We're going to see the messy. We're going to see the broken. We're going to see the discouraging. And we're going to miss the beauty. But when you wake up every day and you say, I'm going to look for the beautiful in today. I'm going to look for the things in my life that I can love and appreciate and be grateful for. You're going to start seeing them. Because what you look for, you're going to see more of. So give yourself permission to really start seeing the beauty in the life that you actually have. You can't change who you are, but you can make the most of where you are. There's a lot of things in your life that you can't change, but you always have a choice for your attitude. Your attitude is the one thing that no one can choose for you. You get to choose that for yourself. So you can choose to say, this life that I have right where I'm at, I'm going to embrace it, I'm going to love it, and I'm going to make the most of it. So today, the project was to look around you. Really look around you. Notice the wonderful things in your life. Let yourself stop and really savor those blessings. Don't take them for granted. Just tonight, I was sitting with my son Silas, and he wanted to read this book to me. I don't know if you've seen the book, Are You My Mother? He wanted to read that to me, and I just sat with him and just soaked it up because he's reading, and it's something we've worked so hard for. And just seeing his little face just, looking at the words, and just, I could see, the wheels turning in his head as he was trying to read it. And I took pictures because I just wanted to remember this moment of just sitting there with him and as he's learning how to read, and what a beautiful moment that was. A simple thing, but it's beauty, and I want to savor it. So really look around you, and then I want you to ask yourself the following questions. What makes me feel happy? If I had an entire day to myself and napping wasn't an option, what would I choose to do? What are some of my happiest moments? And what do other people say brings life to me and puts a smile on my face? Again, if you don't know the answers to those questions, ask people around you to help you come up with answers, because sometimes people are going to see things from a very different perspective than we do. So those closest to us have a great perspective that we need to ask and get their help and their input from. And then after you go through those questions, I really want you to think of one simple way you can seek to cultivate more happiness in your everyday life. So I'd like to ask you to leave a comment. If you haven't already done the daily check-in on this video, leave a comment and tell us, what is one simple way you can seek to cultivate more happiness in your everyday life? Today, tomorrow. I know we're at the end of the day, so think about tomorrow. What is one way you can seek to cultivate happiness in your everyday life? It could be as simple as sitting down with a cup of tea. It could be calling a friend. It could be just smiling. It could be going outside and just breathing in the fresh air. It could be cooking something in the kitchen. It could be watching a funny YouTube clip. It could be just kissing your husband. It could be wearing something that makes you feel happy. It could be pulling out something like a hobby that you had a long time ago. For instance, last night I pulled out my violin. I'm a violinist, and growing up, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of every week was devoted to teaching, playing, and performing violin. And I had left my violin in the closet for a long time. And I pulled it out last night, and it made me so happy to just get to play my violin and just remember how much I love playing the violin. And also to get to share that with my family and to get to play for my children. It was just so, made me so happy, and I thought I need to do more of this. So what is the one simple thing that you're going to do to cultivate more happiness in your everyday life today? Or if you want to think about tomorrow, leave a comment and let us know. I can't wait to hear your answers, and I'm looking forward to seeing you back tomorrow for day 4 of the 15 Days to a Healthier You program. Have a great night.